Hey everyone, Not So Ace Trainer here, and I've taken my time with the Pokemon Wins and Pokemon Waves announcement trailer, and it's time to talk about every detail you might have missed in a Gen 10 reveal. Let's get into it. The trailer begins with a few shots at old memories from our adventures. It begins with Viridian Forest from Kanto with a rare Pikachu spawn, then shows us Ecruteak City from Johto with a Kimono Girl, a Pikachu, and the two new evolutions at the time, Umbreon and Espeon. Then moves on to Route 120 from Hoenn, where we find the Kecleon Invisible spawn, a Pikachu, a Swablu, and a Pokeblock case with some Pokeblocks and an Acrobike. After, we're shown Snowpoint City in Sinnoh with yet again Pikachu, Starly, and Mount Coronet, followed by Unova with a shot of the Sky Arrow Bridge with Pikachu there, the Ferris wheel from Nimbasa City, and the Summer and Spring Sawsbuck. We're then taken back to Kalos and Lumiose City pre-Legend ZA with Fletchling, a Pikachu eating a Pokepuff, Lumiose Galette, a Go-Go Taxi, and a regular taxi, as well as Yellow, Red, and Blue Flower Floette. Then, considering there is a Slowpoke watching the sunset with Pikachu, we're likely at a secluded shore in Alola, where there's also an Alolan Raichu and an Electric-type Z-Crystal as well as an Island Challenge Amulet. After this, we're taken to the wild area in Galar near Hammerlock City, and considering the Tyranitar, likely the Dusty Bowl. There's also a Cramorant, a plate of apple curry, and a regular Pikachu and the Gigantamax 1. And finally, we're in Mesagoza in Paldea, where we can see the Academy, Terra Orbs, a roaming form Gimmighoul, as well as a Pikachu and a hungry for a sandwich Lechonk. And now the fun begins. Here we have our first look at what is the new region. It is clearly a tropical area reminding me of Alola and Hoenn. In the distance, we have some buildings, but it's hard to make up what they are. I've tried to understand what the plant could be, but it could be either a bird of paradise common in many places, or a banana leaf tree plant, which is more common in Southeast Asia and surrounding areas, which makes more sense. The white flowers appear to be orchids, which don't really help at all since they are extremely common in many different places. After we're interrupted, we go outside and meet Mr. Windichu and Mrs. Wavychu. They are shiny or tan Pikachu, one a male and another a female, that sport different colored outfits. They are important to the story, but we still don't know how. Mr. Windichu has this symbol hanging from a pendant on its tail, and Mrs. Wavychu has this symbol on her hat, which are the same symbols we will see throughout the trailer on our protagonist's clothing, further emphasizing that they might be exclusive, as the website tells us that the different clothing belongs to different games. As we jump to the beautiful in-game footage, we have basically the confirmation that the location is very likely around Southeast Asia, as coral reefs are extremely common on those parts, as well as this blue crystalline water. Here we can see various different landmasses, as the game will have various islands. We can spot a platform in the waters as well, with various parasols, possibly a checkpoint of sorts, as well as what is likely a Pokemon Center over there and also over there if I'm not mistaken. Then we're treated to this windmill tower, our first hint at the wind having a role to play in these games. It seems you can enter it, so it might have more relevancy than just being a landmark. And considering the names Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, it might be that they're connected to the Legendaries. Then we have some shots of different locations that also confirm Pokemon, a lush jungle that confirms the Oddish line and Tropius, and a more oceany area with the Wailmer line. After this, we have a look at what I believe is our base of operations, and seems to be connected to a city or a resort of sorts. The fact that it spins, once again, might be connected to the power of wind or even the power of waves, we don't know. We can see various houses down near it, as well as a Pokemon Center in the distance and a more isolated building that might hold some more relevancy than the rest. We then have our first look at the protagonists, which will be different from game to game like I mentioned, kinda like the Uva and Naranja Academy thing. Just like I said in the beginning, they are tied to the organization that is represented by these symbols, the same that the weird Pikachu couple had. This looks like a hoverboard and likely will be used as a way for us to navigate the map. Considering what has been happening for a while now with the Rotom phone and the Rotom bike and all that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Rotom in there as well, although it doesn't look orange as of now. Here, behind the protagonist, we can see what is likely the name of the hotel in Pokemon language, which, judging from the symbol next to it, might be a 5-star hotel with the wave symbol, the same as we see on the floor. Important to note that this is the Pokemon Winds protagonists, so the hotel won't change from one version to the other most likely. We then set off on our adventure from said hotel, again likely our base of operations. Here we see Nimble and Tailo confirming their lines, as well as what is possibly either a lamp for nighttime or a respirator for underground areas, which we do know exists. We can also see this Poké Center and this Poké Center, which don't seem too far apart. And here's our first look at the actual buildings, where the Pokemon Center and the Pokemart will be in the same place as it's usual as of late. Strangely enough, it almost appears like it reads offer there in actual English, which would be strange for a Pokemon game. It appears to be based on the concept of warung, small shops in Indonesia. Then we have another environment and returning Pokemon shot that shows us the Oddish line again and the Tangela line. We're then taken back to the first area of the trailer with our Pokemon Waves protagonist as we watch some waves. The way they're looking at the settlement makes me think it is some kind of early objective. Now we go back once more, but this time to that settlement near the big hotel. We can see thatched roof houses, a bit like a villa you'd find in the Maldives for example. While this makes me think of the Pacific lockdown in Hoenn, it actually reminds me more of Alola in general because of the touristy vibe it has. The next scene at sunset shows us small houses, but most importantly shows us this. It might be, in Pokemon language, the name of the new region, so expect me to try and cover it in the next few videos. This is followed by a few returning Pokemon and environment shots, starting with the Lediba line, the Slugma line and Sizzlipede line inside of a magma cave, confirming a volcanic area, once more, very Hoenn/Alolan. And then, near a waterfall cliff, we see a Pikachu and catch it. Considering we do not have a Pokemon out, this might be the confirmation that catching outside of battle is once again part of the games. During the throwing animation, we can also spot the Pokemon Center right there. Then we have the confirmation of the Wingull line soaring over the coral reef, the Krabby line and Sandygast line on the beach at night, and the mortal enemies Mariani and Corsola near that same hotel at sunset, while the hotel has some colorful lights on. This will be important later. We then see a swampy area that confirms Carnivine and the Timpo line, and the volcanic area is shown once again. This is followed by the Duskull line confirmed to show up at night, with a street lamp over there and a sign that likely confirms the Slowpoke line through Slowking. Or maybe not, since we've seen signs before that had a Pokemon but didn't really confirm the Pokemon, at least not for the main game. This house appears to be inspired by kos-kosan, typically seen in Indonesia, which have rooms for rental, and from my research do often have this green color and aesthetic. After this, it's once again wind and windmill tower time, though it doesn't feel like the same one as before, meaning we likely have many, which makes sense. And then, on the beach, we're introduced to the new starters, Brout, a chickpea grass angry bird with Overgrow, Ponbon, a Pomerian fire dog with Blaze, and Gekwa, a slaying water gecko with Torrent. I can choose and I love it. During Brout's showcase, which first happens on a wood platform, likely on the hotel area right here, we can see the Pokemon Center again. And then it seems to take us to the same waterfall area where we caught the Pikachu. Then it's Ponbon time at the resort as well, right here I believe, and then in the volcano area. Gekwa is also at the resort but near a pool, where we can see the hotel symbol right there in those red flags. Though the symbols we can see in the designs now, those ones, resemble wind and not waves, meaning that the hotel might be a bit neutral. We're then taken to another area full of waves and a few small islands, as well as the black cloud over there that is certainly very important. Considering the titles Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, I believe one of the legendary Pokemon will be caught in the sky and the other one in the ocean, and so they wouldn't just tease one of them. So I believe that, considering every game since every main gen game on the Switch has had a form of multiplayer battle thing, the Black Clouds might be something we seek in order to battle together against a stronger opponent likely affected by this region's gimmick. I mean, such a black cloud in the blue sky like this needs to mean something. And also the way the clouds are moving through the sky might mean they're often changing locations, so we might need to be quick in order to reach them. We are then treated to one of the best things ever in Pokemon, diving. We will be able to reach the ocean floor, and there we can see the return of the Finian line. Corsola, Mariani, and Wilmer show up once again, and then the return of the Frillish line and the Dynamo line. At the end, we can also spot Krabby once again making another appearance in the trailer. We are then treated to the titles, Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves, which end the trailer. But if we look at the Japanese titles, and just like with the terrestrial symbol back in the Scarlet and Violet reveal, we can already see the Gimmicks logo right here. It looks like an Omega symbol. The way it seems to be flowing around the center ball is reminiscent of the Agoromo, which is sometimes associated as giving one the ability to fly even if they're not usually able to do so. Because of this, I believe that a gimmicky Agoromo might be how we reach those dark clouds. Also, the colors on the gimmick symbol are similar to those lights at the hotel. Very curious. Expect a video on this soon as well. And finally, checking the website, we have the confirmation that Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves are open world titles, and there is a hint that we'll be using Pokémon to traverse the map, which is fantastic, and I've been hoping for something like that for a long time. And that is everything that I could find, but if you have found something that I missed, please let me know in the comments down below. I can't wait to start making theories and speculating about this, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Now, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Good Old Deo, Sean Speaks and Dash Plays, and my Twitch subscribers Anubis Here, Zanes222, Lazarix, The Dr. Joe, and Teixeira23 for going that extra mile. Thank you so much for all of your support.